Welcome to our SyncID podcast. Today we will explore how to build a flourishing, vibrant and engaged community. With us we have Andreia Tulcidás from OutSystems, that is a community engagement manager, amazing person and able to engage all the people that make this ecosystem a beautiful place to be. Good morning, Andreia.
Hello,
How are
Tiago.
you? Okay. So, first question for you. Can you describe a bit of what your path into becoming an OutSystems community engagement manager at OutSystems?
Yes. I had no idea that I wanted to work in tech whatsoever when I was studying at university. I just knew I wanted to do marketing. I wanted to talk to people for a living. I wanted to get paid to just be surrounded by amazing, inspiring people that would challenge me or would teach me something new every day. And I went through that struggle that any university student goes through, which is, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to study? And I ended up landing at Microsoft for an internship. I stayed there 2 years. I learned that I'm obsessed with tech, not technology itself, but the impact that it has on the world, the way that it changes lives, the way that it creates new opportunities for people, the way that it's ever evolving and ever changing. And I started to understand that there was this community thing where you actually get to be paid to talk to people on a daily basis. So I started doing events with startups. Then I started working with partners in go-to-market campaigns. And when OutSystems reached out, they said, we're building out this team that involves being the intermediary between the company and the developers. And your job is to create relationships with them and ensure that they grow and that they're motivated to continue in this journey and that they don't want to leave ever. And I was like, okay, maybe I can be persuasive. Maybe I can do this. And in the past 7 years, I've done a little bit of everything in the community. So I started out almost in like a startup mode. So putting fires everywhere, whether it was online, offline. We have, the forums, the forge, the documentation. On the offline side, we have the events, and it was literally trying to learn as much as possible in the shortest amount of time. Then I grew into managing programs, so I did the MVPs and the champions, our champion. And now I lead a global team that is in charge of all developer events across the globe. We have presence in all regions, from small user groups to huge hundreds of people developer days. And the world is our oyster. We're just getting started.
That's great, because everybody that is part of the community can see how happy you are, or at least how happy you show to be in this position.
It's all real, I promise.
Exactly. So, another thing, what's your day-to-day life? Because you have a lot of events going on around the world, but that's just a part of what we see. It's like, let's call it, at least for us that are in the community, the most glamorous part, because you go and meet people and hear specialists of different topics about that, but your life is not just that. So what do you do in a daily basis?
Yeah, I got nervous. It is somewhat glamorous. It's not always that glamorous. My day-to-day is never the same. Our team is very versatile, so we're in charge of different programs across different teams. Engagement is very focused on retention. So it's focused on keeping the people within the OutSystems ecosystem here, excited, engaged, committed to building a long-lasting career with us. So it can be, juggling events, juggling vendors, juggling sponsors. It can be defining next year's event calendar. So, we did 7 developer days this year. We probably are going to do twice what we did this year next year. We had a huge 4,000 people one conference this year. Next year we're going to double it again and probably do it in more places. And then you have, different programs like the referral program where we allow people to bring in more people to the community. We have campaigns with content where we're interviewing champions, MVPs, super users about how they're building technology every day. We have programs that are focused on training and enablement and upskilling. So everything now regarding becoming an AI developer, how can we create the resources to make your life as easy as possible and become that certified AI developer? So there's always an email that is unexpected and throws off my day. There's always a meeting that throws off my day. But it all ends up creating a very complete but different job role.
Okay, great. So it seems like busy days that you
Fun,
have.
always exciting. I
Yeah.
never sweat, not at all. I'm not even anxious.
So also we have most of the people that is in the OutSystems world is part of the community. But how is the community organized? So, and is it? I would like to have your opinion. I think it's mostly a technical community, but in the ecosystems there are more people than just the tech guys. So how do you have this organized, and how do you bring everyone to contribute to the community?
That's a great question, and it has a difficult answer. It is true, it is mostly a technical community, but we have designers for the UX, UI part. We have students, we have freelancers, we have people that did not come from a STEM background that are reskilling into OutSystems. So we have different, very diverse backgrounds within the ecosystems. And I think that that's what makes it as rich and as interesting. We rely a lot on our community leaders, so our super users, however you want to call it. We have champions and MVPs across the globe that help us scale within regional communities. We have user group organizers that help us create these long-lasting relationships and nurturing, smaller cities, smaller groups. We have online mentoring where we allow more senior developers to help guide junior people who are just getting into the ecosystem. If you ask me if it's easy, no, it's not easy to scale a 800,000 plus community of developers across the globe, not at all. And it's even harder to make sure that they feel like they're part of something. So I think that that's why we do so many events, whether virtual, whether offline, so that people can get that sense of community. Community is all about finding your people, right? And so the more that we can find the extension of our team, so I consider you the extension of my team, all our super users, all our community leaders are representing the spirit of OutSystems across the globe, right? So I think that we rely a lot on that, but also creating the support online. So the forums, every time someone says this, I feel like this is crazy, but there are people that are at the office and sometimes they don't have colleagues to ask questions about OutSystems. They go to the forums, they have an answer in 2 hours, and their problem is solved, and they have the OML and they have the file and they can do everything, And I think that it's this constant support of never feeling like you won't have the answer, never feeling like you won't get the support, that allows this community to really thrive.
Yeah, I agree. So you mentioned something that I think that is very important for all the communities. And I've been in the OutSystems community for 20 years or something.
Not that much.
So, but and the people in the community are very protective of OutSystems. They really engage, and if someone attacks the product itself, they go after them. And what do you think is the secret sauce to get the people to have this sense of community and this sense of belonging that you mentioned? What does the difference really?
I don't know if there's a secret sauce. I don't know if there's a magic formula. I know that we have really great people. We have a really great product team that cares, that listens, that more and more are involved in bringing in people's feedback and opinions and research and insights and concerns, problems, and taking it constructively and trying to build the best product out there. I think that the culture is super important. We're a global company, if you want to call it. You know, Portuguese people, the way that OutSystems was built, even I see it in the company. We're Portuguese at heart, but global in the way that we impact the world. Portuguese people are very warm. They're very human. They're very empathetic. And I feel that the way that we all, even though the team now is spread across the globe, I think that culture really gets ingrained in the way that we work and in the way that we listen to people and in the way that we engage. And being empathetic and trying to understand, you know, your concerns and your pain points and making sure that all the things that we do are for you, I think that makes a difference. When I joined OutSystems, I remember I wanted to bring a bunch of things from Microsoft. I wanted to copy a bunch of things from Salesforce, you know, because the goal was scale, scale, scale. And so we tried a bunch of things. This has a point, I promise. We tried a bunch of things that didn't work because we were just trying to emulate what big companies were doing for their communities. But we got to a point, and I think that a lot of companies fail because of this. We got to a point where we were not talking to our users to understand what they wanted. So we were prioritizing based on our strategy and our targets rather than what was going to make our community happy, engaged, and with the opportunity to thrive. So putting the developer first, putting our community first is, I think, our main priority at the end of the day. If that is the secret sauce, I don't know. But there's nothing that we do that doesn't go through all our users, all our customers, all our partners to ensure that at the end of the day, this is for you.
Great. So regarding the engagement, so very big part of the importance of the community is try to engage every member. You have a lot of strategies, hackathons, you have the Forge, you have the forums, you have several things, ODC. Not ODC, sorry. One, I was thinking about one, the big event. You have ODC also, but you have one. So what you think brings the most people into the community, or what leverages the contribution of the community members to the ecosystem? Do they have all an equal impact, or?
I think the most important thing is that we allow people to contribute in different ways. So I think that in events, you have to be more outgoing. You have to be more, extrovert. You have to you have to bring the energy. You're gonna have to talk to people, or you're gonna have to, sit 8 hours to watch sessions and be focused. But when you're on the online side, you're behind a screen. You're not interacting. You're in your space. You're reserved. I think that we respect and enable a lot of different contributions for a lot of different people, and I think that we try to serve the best that they want to bring from themselves every single day, right? So we have a lot of people that are in the forums just providing answers because they want to help, because they can't help any other way, right? Or because they don't feel as comfortable as, being in a podcast, sharing their content, or presenting a session on, the unified platform. They want to do it in their own terms. So I feel like creating different ways that people can contribute in their own way is probably the best way that we can allow them to be the best versions of themselves.
Great. Different solutions for different people.
Exactly. We try to be everywhere.
Do you have any example of an initiative that happened in a certain context that was planned with months in advance, like many others I think are, but that was a big success or had a great impact on the community?
Mm-hmm. We were just talking about this. All our big programs normally are very impulsive.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So I think that for structured events, structured conferences, the one conference takes almost a year to plan, right? And it involves hundreds of people and teams and agencies and resources that we kind of lose count on, but that requires a different kind of planning. But we have several programs that have been super successful in the past. So the one that we were just talking about, the COVID-19 project that we supported 20 nonprofits with volunteers to bring applications to life that would allow local businesses, associations, even governments across the globe to have some sort of relief during COVID. That was amazing. It happened with one phone call in the weekend, and we had 20 people on a Monday ready to go. And it's always a little bit like this, right? So I don't know when this podcast is going live, but right now we have the Agents and Zombies game, map, maze, where we're incentivizing people to build agents for the ecosystem. That was an idea that the team had in the open space, and they made it happen in 2 weeks. Or even, Miguel Baltazar is our VP of developer. He put in a mission during his community keynote at one. He said, I want everyone in the ecosystem to become an AI developer. That's the mission until the end of the year. Did we ever expect to have more than 1,000 developers certified on agentic and going through that training in less than a month? I don't think we had that expectation, but it's those sort of things where the energy it's very climactic, and the Tiger team efforts that come from building under pressure and having to deliver something huge in a very short period of time ends up always being more iconic than, than others.
The Agents versus Zombies is a great example because I've been following the initiative, and in LinkedIn everybody's talking about it. There are already articles written, so how to beat the game and different. And about strategies, how to build your agent. So I think it was a great idea, and it's doing great.
Okay. Leave it to a developer to want to game the game.
Yeah. So next, we've been talking about it's great to nurture the community and empower people and make people contribute to the overall ecosystem. How do you measure this?
Oh, Lord. We have a lot of metrics. We look at activity, we look at retention, we look at churn, we look at our seniority of developers, if we're allowing them to grow and to upskill and to get certified. We look into complexity of apps. We look into how engaged they are in our programs, whether it's through events, whether it's through creating content. And of course, there are so many performance indicators of how we want to grow in specific priority markets. So we're very strong in specific countries, but of course we want to go global. So it's always a matter of building things from the ground up and understanding what success indicators can we use as benchmarks, because what works in Portugal and in the Netherlands is going to be very different from the UK or France, for instance, let alone the US. But it's very much around, product adoption, obviously. A lot of training and a lot of upskilling, so accelerating the seniority of our developers and how quickly they consume our content, how quickly they can get certified, how the success rate of the pass rate is. And of course, expansion. We look into our customers, we look into our partners, we want them to build more, grow more, be with us forever. So a lot of expansion metrics associated to that ends up being influenced by all community programs.
Great. You mentioned something that I would like to ask you is regarding partners. Okay, we are. Noesis is a partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you think is the partner role in the community? Because sometimes it seems to me that they are a bit apart. It's like they are two different things, but of course, many members of the community work for partners. So what do you think should be the active role of the partners itself in the community?
I think at the end of the day, the way I see it is OutSystems is a through partner company. The way that we grow and the way that we're able to scale as much as we do is through our partners. And we rely a lot on you to be able to grow the way that we do. I think that the way I see it, we empower you so much to go and bring OutSystems with you wherever you go, that there is no community without you. I think that's the way that, if I look into my events, if I look into my super user programs, 70-80% of the people that are coming are from partners. I think that there is one key role or one key priority that we would like to focus, which is how much partners dedicate their effort and their resources and their commitment to OutSystems. In a tech world, obviously, a lot of partners are tech agnostic, so they work with different technologies at the same time, including Noesis.
Yep.
And as much as you want to grow with us, we want to grow with you. So I think that it's always a matter of growing the relationship bilaterally. The much effort and the much commitment that we put into you, it's vice versa, right? So I will die on this hill that OutSystems is a through partner company. So there is no way for us to grow our community without you guys.
Okay.
You just have to love us as much as we love you.
Of course, we love you. We have a special place in our heart for you. So.
And a special color.
Exactly. So another thing, we would like for you to tell us about important success cases, not OutSystems success cases, but people from the community that have excelled in certain areas. Like, do you have a story of someone that had a special contribution that could be an example? Imagine a new developer arriving in the community and asking, why should I bother and contribute to the community? And will this help me in my career or not? Do you have an example of someone who did a special path that you would like to mention?
I have several. I think it would be somewhat unfair if I would say just one, because I always say the same one. I've had the privilege and the opportunity to see a lot of people reskill into OutSystems and get a second opportunity at life. I've seen psychologists, architects, pharmacists.
We have some at Noesis also, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's great.
That in one way or another got to a point in their life where they were like, why bother? Is it worth it? And I think that those people are representation that your life doesn't end because you thought that your career path was going to be one and another one opens. And it's really difficult to take that step and to make that decision. And it takes a lot of courage to be able to say, no, I want to change and I want to restart all over again. And I've seen people that restart their careers at 40, 50 and become developers and still have a very successful career with OutSystems or with another technology. So I think that having those people anywhere, and maybe we can put in the screen Noesis people that have reskilled that could potentially be success stories for you. I think those are the inspiring ones, because the opportunity that technology has to change someone's life is not small. And sometimes people don't really understand or don't really believe the impact. And it's not that it's easy. I mean, I don't think it's easy to start building an OutSystems from one day to another, right? We have 2 weeks boot camps. We have month-long boot camps of people that have never looked into logic and database and don't understand what a coding language is, rather, let alone a visual one. But I think that that perseverance of not giving up and believing that a second opportunity is worth it is what makes it worthwhile. So I won't say one person.
No, you did it well, yeah. Great answer. Okay, so you mentioned that before, that what works for a certain region is not exactly what works for another. And given that, I would like to ask you, so do the people from the different regions also contribute in a different way, or is something that you are aware of, or?
Yes, I think the way that we work with different countries matters a lot, but the culture is also something that we cannot undermine, right? So the way that we even talk with Japan is going to be very different from the way that we talk to the US, which is super different from the way that we talk to Portuguese people. So what is important is that we have people spread across the globe that help us understand and respect these different cultural differences, which I think goes a long way from when I started. When I started, I was talking to India and to Japan, and sometimes I would say things that I probably shouldn't say, or I was treating people in certain informalities, or not taking into consideration, like in India we do events on Saturday. Here it would be unthinkable.
Yeah,
unthinkable.
nobody.
Unthinkable. In the US, we tend to do events during the day. No one here would ever show up to our meetups during the day because they're working, right? But in the US, it's a work thing. And, in some places, it works even better when it's online. But here, people want to meet up and grab a beer and have a pizza and talk. So it doesn't work the same way because, again, different countries have different cultures and different practices and different ways of living and working. So having different people from my team spread across helps. But also, it also depends on maturity level of the community. So in Portugal, in the Netherlands, in the US now, and in parts of Asia, we're very strong. And in other parts, we're just starting community. So the way that we do community building is different than how we do community engagement, right? You have to build before you engage. Yeah. So in specific countries, there's a lot of starting from scratch, a lot of cold calling, a lot of LinkedIn messages, a lot of, hey, do you know this guy? Do you want to bring a friend, bring a colleague, bring your boss, bring whatever, bring your parakeet, I don't know how it's called, just to ensure that people are coming. So it depends on countries, it depends on cultures, it depends on level of maturity. It's always different, always different.
Any region or any place that you are giving special attention right now?
Of course, the US. We want to win big and we want to conquer North America.
Okay.
We will conquer North America. I think
step by step, I think, yeah. I think you will. Okay. So what supports, in terms of tools, you have a lot of things to do, your day is full of meetings and calls, I imagine, and stuff. Which tools support your work? It's like...
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a fun question. I was not expecting that one. I use Notion for everything to organize my brain. It's like a note app. Yeah. It has tabs and separators, and I can put art on the thing, and it just looks cute, and it helps me organize myself. But everything is centralized. I feel like a person from my team just now took it on her to the challenge of reorganizing our Google Drive. Google Drive is the Bible. It's where you find everything. But yeah, Notion is how my brain that has 70,000 different tabs open. Right now I'm having this conversation with you, and I'm thinking of the next
about what
3
you have
calls
to do.
that I'm going to have, and probably what I need to get done before the day ends. But I think it's Google Drive, Zoom, Mail, Notion.
Yeah.
This is not sponsored.
Tools,
Please sponsor me.
So I think regarding this, so that's how you organize your day. So, but one of the, I think, the most important aspects of the community, beyond people helping each other, that's really great, it's also to provide you feedback on the product, what's going well, what's not so good, and people would like for you to improve. How do you collect and then act upon the feedback that you receive from the community?
That's a great question. Now, more and more, we're investing in growing our research team within our engineering group, where their whole goal is really to get to know our users, interview them, do feedback sessions, do A/B testing sessions, and provide as many insights as possible to put it in our backlog of our product. So the research team has a very structured official program, which is the research program. I think it's over 4,000 or 5,000 members that are part of it, that are putting themselves available to be part of these sessions and these interviews. We do them constantly. We also have our super users that are directly in contact with our product teams that provide a lot of feedback. We try to create as many established and formalized communication channels as possible with our engineering team. And we have a worldly renowned, I like to say this because this is true, but we have a worldly renowned product ops team within OutSystems that has created a very detailed structure on how we organize and give back that detailed information and those detailed insights back to the product. So there's a whole structure and a whole process defined on how we collect, how we centralize, how we prioritize, and how we give it back to the product team. So a lot of things happening. A lot of ways to give back feedback and a lot of ways to bring back to the product.
I think now with ODC we are experiencing a different thing from the past is because you are releasing new features consistently instead of just very big very big gaps between new versions, so that's been great. Okay, because
we're learning. I told you we're putting the users first.
Okay, and for the future, so how do you see the future for these developer communities, not only the one that you are responsible of here at OutSystems, but globally with this, not arrival, but this widespread use of AI? What do you think it will happen, and what will be the impact of AI in these communities?
I think there's a narrative that has been going on that kind of scares our developers and developers across the globe, that is OutSystems, AI is going to replace you. I don't think that is true at all. I think that developers need to understand that developers who are able to really adopt AI as a skill in their tool belt is what's going to make them unbeatable. And I think that they shouldn't be scared or concerned about something. I think that in tech, there's always a new thing that comes. I don't think AI is going anywhere, but ever since I started working in tech, there's always a new thing coming every year. And you have to adapt and you have to change and you have to adjust. And the way that you grow is how much you're flexible and able to adjust yourself into adopting it rather than fearing it or rather than repelling it. So developers who are going to be able to master AI are going to be the developers of the future. Yeah. So instead of seeing it as something that's going to make you redundant, see it as something that's going to make it your superpower.
Great stuff. So, and we are reaching the end of
I would stay here with you for 3 more hours.
But we would like you to share some tips. So regarding this creation or building of a community. So what advice would you give to someone that works on a different company, but it's trying to build a community from scratch? What do you think are the most important aspects that one should consider?
Okay. First, be curious and don't assume. I think that that's main error for everyone, is that we always want to do different things, and we don't spend enough time learning and listening and analyzing and doing our homework before we put something out or before we build something. So I think that's, being curious, getting to know people, listening to them. Sometimes I learn more from 15 minutes coffees with community members that I haven't seen for a year about how they're feeling or seeing the community than what I do every single day here in the company, right? Second is try to be as empathetic as possible. At the end of the day, we're all humans. And sometimes, for the longest time, I felt like a little bit of a punching bag. Not because people are mad or...
People love you,
Yes, I know. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love them too. I love everyone. But it's a matter of, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes there are concerns. Sometimes there are problems. Sometimes we go through ups and downs, and frustrations are very difficult to deal with. And community building is all about people. Yep. And it's not just about nurturing relationships. It's about managing relationships and how people see you. When you do community building, you're representing a company at the end of the day. So you're not just trying to incentivize them to love OutSystems or love a product more. You're trying to make them believe that they should invest their entire career into that product, right? So you have to be empathetic in the way that you build those long-lasting relationships and understand that it's not going to be always rainbows and butterflies all the time, and you have to have those difficult conversations. And at the end of the day, build something that makes you excited. You know, you've said it time and time again. I've been here for 7 years, and I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm really, you know, I wake up every day and I feel like I'm going to build something that's challenging because other people are going to love it as much as I do. So if you don't believe it, the people that you're building this for will never believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Those are my tips.
Okay. So to close, I would like to ask you some quick questions.
Oh boy.
For you, do not overthink. This is just to get your straight answer.
Okay.
So, any community outside of the OutSystems that you admire?
Salesforce.
Okay. A favorite moment as a community lead?
The first time I went on stage at the One Conference.
Yeah. An app that you use every day outside work?
We got TikTok?
Yeah, it counts. And a book, a podcast, or a person that inspires you?
My mom.
Huh? Oh, great answer. Okay, Andreia, I think we've reached the end of our conversation. It was great talking with you.
I had so much fun, Thiago.
Yeah, I really love your energy. It's something, and your knowledge, of course, but your energy is something that I really enjoy, and I think everybody in the community relates to. So thank you very much for your time.
You're very sweet. Thank you for having me.